Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Austin. This is Gone in 60, and this is my 2022 Subaru WRX, and this is my 5,000 mile review of the car. Some dark things, some light things, kind of follows the sky, kind of follows the theme. There's some sun coming through the clouds. You guys get it, but I'm going to share with you what this car has been like to live with for the last 5,000 miles. How has it done on gas mileage? How has it been to daily drive? How has it been on long road trips? In this video, we are sharing it all. Thank you guys for watching. If you're new to my channel, please like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get after it. All right, guys, it's raining, but it's not gonna stop us. I need to share with you guys my thoughts after 5,000 miles of owning this car. So the first thing I'm gonna talk about, and these are in no particular order, I just kinda wanna give my general assessments, general overall thoughts of the car, some impressions, some different things. So I wanted to first talk about fuel economy, what I've gotten, what's the most I've gotten, what do I typically average when I drive it hard. So I have done a few 400-mile road trips in the car. One of those trips, I completely babied the car. Like I wanted to see how many miles per gallon I could get. I was driving under the speed limit, like maybe 5-10 miles an hour, and I was coasting in neutral when I could. I know I'm not supposed to do that, but I was trying to maximize my miles per gallon. I'll throw up on the screen, not throw up, am I throwing up on the screen? I will show you guys up on the screen some of the different miles per gallon that I got on that trip. So the most I've ever gotten in this car is 32.2 miles per gallon. And guys, for an all-wheel drive car, for as much hate as this car gets, especially for fuel economy, for all-wheel drive, for all of that, to get 32.2 was absolutely amazing. Now we are around 5,000 feet of elevation. I was coming from a place of around a couple thousand feet of elevation, so definitely climbed up quite a bit. But if you baby this car and you don't drive it hard and you're going on just a freeway trip, all highway miles, you can get 30 miles per gallon, 27 to 30 pretty comfortably. Now it depends on your conditions, depends on a lot of things, but if you're just cruising on cruise control, just going at a steady pace, this car actually can do pretty well, especially for the horsepower that it has, especially for it being all-wheel drive. For this boxer engine, it historically just is not known for fuel economy. So I would say around town, I'm probably between averaging highway, driving in the city, I'm getting anywhere from about 18 to 20 miles per gallon, which falls in line with some of my muscle cars. But I drive this car pretty hard. But if you're looking at the car for fuel economy as a daily driver and you have a lot of stop and go traffic, maybe it's a deal breaker, because unless you really baby the car, you're not going to get amazing miles per gallon on it. Now, if you live in a climate that has like bad weather, whether that's snowing, raining, the all-wheel drive just is a huge game changer. So that's a little bit about fuel economy on trips and other things. So this car has been awesome. I've really enjoyed it. I've owned the car since January, so in 6 months, I've put 5,000 miles on the car. Some things that I've liked about this car and the platform. One thing I recommend all of you guys to do, and you can do this at your own discretion. This is up to you guys. I'm not you guys are responsible for whatever you want to do. But remove the carbon air filter from the car. If you guys don't know, a lot of Subaru products, GR86, BRZ, they have the carbon air filter, and it's quite restrictive. And I'd put in a K&N air filter, and yes, I noticed more power. I did a video on how much peak boost rose, which I think was about half a PSI roughly to maybe 0.6 PSI, or maybe I jumped up a full PSI. I can't remember. But just the turbo sounds and everything I got from it, I've really enjoyed this car as a daily driver. And the fact that I can still get those turbo sounds, the fact that I could increase a little bit of power, that's a mod that just makes the car come alive. It makes it awesome. The longer I've owned this car, the more I've liked the looks of the car. I think getting some aftermarket wheels definitely helped. For a lot of you who ask me what wheels these are, they're Aodhan, A-O-D-H-A-N. They're a company out of California. If you guys want my contact over there and you want me to tell them I sent you, they might be able to get you a discount. They gave me a pretty good discount on these, but I've loved them. They're 18 by 8.5, 55 millimeter offset, and these are just the stock Dunlop summer tires. I've really liked these Dunlop summer tires. I have no complaints about them. They handle well. Ride quality is good. The noise is decent. But the longer I've owned this car, the more it's grown on me. I'm still not a fan of the back of the car. I have ceramic coated the car. It's held up really well to the rain, and I can kind of show you guys look right there, and just kind of the beading. I've done the windows, I've done everything. But overall, the paint's done really well. I've had a couple rock chips on there. So if a lot of you are kind of concerned about the paint, obviously when we moved away from lead paint and just to more what we have now, paint doesn't hold up as well. But I've been impressed with the paint quality. It's held up decently, and ceramic coating it just makes it awesome. The exhaust, I will say, this is the Remark Axleback. I will say that where I struggle on this is when I'm on calls for work. The exhaust is extremely loud when you start it up, and it sounds awesome. I love it. I love loud exhausts. But even when the car's warmed up and I'm just daily driving this around town, when I'm on work calls or driving the office or whatever it might be, people have an extremely hard time hearing me, and the drone on the highway is loud. This is an Axleback, it's a muffler delete, so I realize that's almost as loud as you get other than removing both cats and straight piping it. But the exhaust, doing it over again, I don't know. I don't know if I would have gone with such a loud setup, just because it makes it really, really hard to hear anybody as I'm driving. They can't hear me, and they all like think I drive around like the fastest car ever, and I'm like, it's kind of not, but that's okay. But overall, the exhaust, I do like the Remark Axleback for $300. It's hard to beat. I've noticed the more miles I've gotten on the car, the more likely the exhaust is to pop. That's one thing that's been interesting, is it kind of chooses when it wants to pop, the burble tune, some of the burbles and pops. But some people say, hey, it's right at red line. Some people say it's between 4,000 and 5,000 RPM. I found it's just kind of random when it wants to do it. But the longer I've had it, the more it's done it. But looks-wise of the car, and I think tint, it looks awesome. Another modification I think would look great on the car is the front grills that they have, and the grill over here. On Smedia's channel, he has that. I think that looks really good. But overall, the looks has been really good. I've not had any issues with the car other than this door rattling like crazy. And I just put some 3M tape behind, just right behind the door right here. And it really stopped the rattle. It went away. And you can see right there, it doesn't do it. It's been great. I will say the longer I have had the infotainment, I haven't had a lot of issues, but I have had some disconnecting issues lately. But honestly, guys, every car I've had has had some type of issue with infotainment, whether that's Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. The Harman Kardon in here continues to kick butt. This has been the best upgraded factory stereo that I've had in any of my cars, although the Bose would rival it pretty closely in my Camaro. Though that would be an interesting one to do kind of a sound test in that. But the B&O in my Mustang was a letdown. But this Harman Kardon, I've heard Harman Kardon in other brands, and it's been a little bit bass heavy, but this has actually been really good, and it sounded awesome. I haven't done the upgrade in here. There's an upgrade that you guys can do to the buttons to where you get the heated seats right here, and you don't have to go 2 or 3 buttons in, which has been really, really nice. The shifter, I know a lot of you guys don't like the shifter in this car, but I like it. It's really mechanical. It's notchy. It kind of click into gear. I love that about it. I don't mind the plastics that have been in here. It's been fine. I've done some road trips in this car. It's been great, and everybody who gets in it, they like it. The power has been really good. A thing that I don't like necessarily is I think Subaru needs to come up with different design. I don't like these icons. It makes it kind of look cheap, in my opinion. I don't mind like the star background or like some of that down there, but the user interface, it does work just fine, but it's really kind of dated, in my opinion. And that's just my 2 cents. But overall, it's been responsive. It works great. I can get to different things. There's some interesting things in here, like you can do anniversaries, you can do birthday list, you can do anniversary list. I've never seen that in any type of car. You can schedule your oil changes and stuff, which is really good. But I will say these seats on a long road trip, and I've talked about this in my video about what I don't like about the car. These seats on a long road trip are not my favorite. It's not been overly comfortable. It's been pretty firm, pretty stiff. That's what she said. But driving this car daily has been totally fine. It's been totally livable. But if you're going on long road trips and you have anything below the limited trim, maybe some of you guys like it, but I do find these seats to not provide a lot of support and comfort. they've been a little too stiff as you're driving. And this is a stiff car. I love how it drives. I love how it handles, but it's been pretty stiff. Steering wheel has been great. I love the boost gauge that you can get for the PSI up there. I love that the gauges are still just kind of just your standard, just typical kind of analog gauges. I do wish they would have had some type of interior lighting in here. I think that would make it nice, especially just make it feel a little bit more luxurious, a little bit nicer. But overall, guys, I've been very happy with the car. For a turbocharged car with all-wheel drive for the price you pay, it's really hard to beat this car. You know, the aluminum pedals down there, like it's very livable, and it's a great buy. You know, we've talked about fuel economy, the power band in this car is great. It's very linear. It pulls really nice. It's, especially after I removed the charcoal air filter and put a new air filter in, got rid of some weight with the stock exhaust. I got rid of some weight on the wheels by putting aftermarket wheels on. The car felt quite a bit faster, and this is a car, honestly, with maybe 30 to 50 more horsepower, this car would have all the power that I would want. The only thing that's tough is you just run out of RPM. It peaks at 6,000 and then you just reshift it. But the car has been great from a power delivery. It's been fun as a daily driver. It's a little bit stiff, but it's practical. It gets you all of the things that you'd like. It makes it, you know, fun to drive. You got the manual. I'm really not lacking for anything in here. I have a great sound system. It's been comfortable, and it's been great to daily drive. Trunk space is great. Back seat's great. Definitely haul some kids around or some things around in it. No complaints there. A lot of people talk about the hood flex on the car. Hasn't bothered me a whole lot. You can adjust them. I've showed that in another video. I've talked about seatbelt chime where you can get rid of that. This car, the best way I could put it is just a few modifications away from being everything you want it to be. All the stuff I don't like about it or haven't liked about it, you can change, you can add. The community is amazing. The support's been amazing. I will say the brakes on this car is a downside. The brakes on this car are pretty weak. I can tell that these tires have wore out. You know, in 5,000 miles, I'd maybe get another, I don't know, maybe 5,000 out of them, maybe 8,000 out of them if I'm lucky. They're definitely more summer type tires. Well, they are summer tires, but the brakes is a weak point of this car. If you're tracking it or you're being really aggressive with it, these brakes, they're not the most aggressive. And that's something that's kind of cool coming up on the 24 models, is they're upgrading it to a Brembo brake package, or at least that's what we all think. They're changing the wheels, they're adding the Brembo brakes to it. Who knows what else they're doing? I hope they're releasing some of those drive modes and different stuff to some of the lower trim levels. I think that would be cool. Subaru, if you're listening, maybe give the option to add Recaro seats, like make some money, people. But brakes is a weak point for the car. But guys, this new platform, the engine, the way it's tuned, it's just an all-around great daily driver. If you're driving a lot of city, this is not going to get you good gas mileage. If you don't need all-wheel drive and you care about gas mileage, this is not the car for you. It just isn't. It's not. Those two things don't go in common. Now, if you do a long road trip and you baby the car, you can do really well. And I just love watching the rain come down my windows. So I've ceramic coated it, and it's awesome. I love it. I love it. I need to wash this, but the rain's doing it for me. Those are my 5,000 miles, guys. It's pretty new. Subaru's been great to deal with. I haven't had any recalls. I haven't had any issues. I'm kind of someone, though, that I like to try to fix the issues myself versus taking it to the dealer, because I'm always nervous they're going to wreck it, dent it, scratch it, you name it. But the car has been very solid. It's a little stiff for a daily driver, but it basically is like having a practical, somewhat family sport sedan. I didn't say sports car, sport sedan. But with a few minor modifications, this car is awesome. It's great, and I can't recommend it enough for the price. If you guys are buying one of these, don't buy them at MSRP. Don't buy it over MSRP. Make sure you're getting it under for MSRP. There's enough places in the country offering several $1,000s off of these. That is my biggest regret with this car, is not getting it for a lower price, because, like, for example, I bought this car for 36 and some change, and most offers have been around 27,000. Almost $10,000 less 5 months later. 10,000 I know cars are depreciating, but that is just insane. 10,000. So make sure, if you guys are someone like me, you do automotive content, you buy sell cars pretty frequently, unless you get this car under sticker, you're going to be underwater in it. So get a good deal. But I love how this car looks. A few minor modifications makes it amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll catch you on the next video.